Journal. Shifting back to another corner of the nation's capital, lawmakers in D.C. playing the blame game over the AIG bonuses, but what's being done in Congress to take those billions in taxpayer money that we've spent and spend it now wisely? Joining us now to weigh in is Representative Jackie Speier. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here. Will you vote in favor of this 90% tax rate applied to bonuses at companies that have taken government aid?
Absolutely. It's taxpayers' money. These companies, for the most part now, are owned by the taxpayers, and it's time for Wall Street to get a grip on what's really happening across this country.
Do you and do your fellow lawmakers fully grasp, though, when you start changing the tax code, of the implications maybe down the road? Have you fully weighed them, given the speed with which you're moving on this, fully weighed the implications of what it's going to do to other firms and our banking industry as a whole?
Well, I think you need to be clear about what we are doing, which is, if you have received more than $10 billion from the federal government in the form of TARP monies or assistance, and if you make more than $250,000 a year, your bonuses will be taxed at 91%. That's what the measure that will be before us today is all about. It's very narrow, but it addresses the AIG atrocity that has been borne on the American people.
But I look at the alternative minimum tax, which I look at every year on my own tax return. And again, that was a tax initially targeted at just over 100 people, and it's mushroomed into something much greater. And there are unintended consequences with everything the government does. Do you worry about those consequences, possibly pushing jobs overseas to other institutions?
Well, you know, that's an argument that's been used by the financial services industry in wanting to keep their salaries very inflated, that we're going to lose all this great brain power if we don't provide these bonuses, if we don't provide these astronomical salaries. And I just don't buy it, and I don't think the American people buy it. There's 70,000 people that were in jobs on Wall Street that aren't working right now, and I'm sure they're going to be willing to pick up some of these jobs if people are going to leave the AIG or other firms. This is very targeted. It's for a very short period of time, and if you don't take TARP money, you have nothing to worry about.
Again, what got us into this mess in the first place is the government acting so swiftly and frankly naively discovering that these bonus contracts were in place. That's what got us into this mess in the first place. And again, Congress is now very swiftly acting to right it. And perhaps at least the American people, some of them thinking maybe some things are going to happen down the road that you don't intend.
Actually, what got us into this mess is a financial services industry that came to Congress over and over again and said, deregulate, deregulate. And Congress did that, and we have seen what has been wrought on the American people. Trillions upon trillions of dollars now being spent to clean up the mess on Wall Street. So I'm not going to make any apologies for us moving quickly today. I think it's something the American people have demanded, and I think it's targeted, and it will only be in effect as long as you have TARP money.
There's certainly plenty of blame to go around, Congresswoman, but
that's true.
Some of it directed at the Treasury Secretary right now, Tim Geithner. Should he go?
Well, I think Mr. Geithner needs to regroup for sure. I do believe that the President has made it very clear where he stands on this issue. He thinks these bonuses were outrageous. He wanted everything to be done to address them, and Congress is taking steps now to do just that.
Congresswoman, thank you for being here. Representative Jackie Speier. Be well. Take care. Jackie Speier, excuse me. Get my name straight. Thank you again. We'll talk to an executive of Quaker Oats.